The winds of change are sweeping across Africa. From the sun-scorched savannas of Burkina Faso to the vibrant markets of Lusaka, a revolution is stirring. A revolution born not of violence, but of vision. A revolution fueled not by despair, but by defiance. For too long, Africa has been a continent misunderstood, underestimated, and exploited. Its people, its resources, its dreams, plundered by a world order that sees Africa as a pawn, not a partner. But today, a new story is being written. A story of courage, of pride, of unyielding determination to reclaim Africa's destiny. This is not just a moment. This is a movement. And at its heart are leaders who dare to dream of an Africa that stands tall, unapologetic, unafraid, and unstoppable. Picture this: the dusty streets of Ouagadougou, where the air hums with purpose. Here, a young leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, stands as a beacon of hope. At just 37, he is no ordinary president. He is a symbol, a blazing fire of defiance against a system that has kept Africa on its knees for centuries. His voice, steady and resolute, echoes across the continent. Africa will no longer beg. We will no longer bow. His words are not mere rhetoric. They are a battle cry, a call to reject the chains of exploitation and embrace the boundless potential of a continent ready to rise. Across the continent in Zambia, another voice joins the chorus. President Hakainde Hichilema, with a fire in his eyes and justice in his heart, has issued a demand that has shaken the foundations of global bureaucracy. He has called out the European Union and the United Kingdom, demanding refunds for the millions in non-refunded visa application fees that have bled African nations dry. This is no small gesture. It is a declaration of war against a system that profits from African dreams while offering nothing in return. In 2024 alone, African countries lost $67.5 million, $60 million to Schengen visa fees, and £44 million to the UK's visa system. These are not just numbers. They are the hopes of young Africans, the savings of families, the aspirations of a generation, swallowed by a system that rejects 40 to 50% of African visa applications, particularly in nations like Ghana, Senegal, and Nigeria. Hichilema's voice thunders. It is unacceptable that our citizens lose their hard-earned money on unsuccessful applications. His demand is simple yet revolutionary. Refund the fees for rejected visas. This is not just about money. It's about dignity. It's about justice. It's about an Africa that refuses to be treated as less than equal on the world stage. Imagine what $70 million could do. Picture schools rising in rural villages, hospitals gleaming with modern equipment, roads stretching across communities, and factories buzzing with local talent. This is the Africa Hichilema envisions, an Africa that invests in its people, not in the coffers of foreign powers. At the forefront of this revolution stands Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a man who has become more than a leader. He is a movement. In Burkina Faso, he is rewriting the rules of what it means to govern. His vision is clear. Africa's strength lies not in foreign aid, but in its people, its innovators, its dreamers. Traoré's Burkina Faso is a nation reborn, a testament to what happens when a leader believes in the power of their own people. Textile factories are springing to life, weaving vibrant Faso Danfani fabrics that rival global standards. Farmers are empowered with modern techniques, transforming barren fields into fertile lands that not only feed the nation but export surplus to neighbors. Roads, bridges, and public buildings are being constructed by Burkinabe engineers and laborers, proving that Africa can build its own future without foreign contractors. Traoré's message is uncompromising. Africa's talent must stay home. For too long, the continent's brightest minds have been lured abroad with promises of a better life. only to face exploitation, discrimination, or tragedy. In a speech that sent shockwaves through African capitals, he declared, "The imperialist has always drawn our talent through scholarships, and they never return home. I do not want this brain drain to continue." His words are a scathing rebuke of a system that has allowed Africa's youth to be siphoned off, risking their lives crossing treacherous seas or enduring dehumanizing treatment in foreign lands. He speaks of the young Africans who have drowned in the Mediterranean, their dreams washed ashore, as a grim reminder of a broken system. He speaks of the nurses, engineers, and academics who secure visas only to be relegated to menial jobs, underpaid and undervalued. If our leaders could only wake up, he says, this would not have happened. But Traoré is not just speaking, he is acting. In Burkina Faso, thousands of jobs are being created, from textile workers to engineers designing sustainable irrigation systems. Agricultural initiatives are turning farmers into entrepreneurs, exporting millet, sorghum, and cotton to neighboring countries. New factories process shea butter and gold, ensuring that Burkina Faso reaps the full economic benefits of its resources. Local firms are building highways and schools at a fraction of the cost quoted by foreign contractors, proving that African talent can deliver quality without compromise. A new highway connecting Ouagadougou to Bobo Dioulasso stands as a symbol of this pride, a road built by Burkinabe hands, at half the price and twice the heart. The visa fee scandal is just one symptom of a deeper wound, a global system designed to profit from Africa's marginalization. The Largo Collective, a London-based research group, has exposed the inbuilt discrimination in the Schengen visa process, where African applicants face rejection rates far higher than those from other regions. In 2024, countries like Ghana, Senegal, and Nigeria saw 40 to 50% of their applications rejected, with no refunds for the costly fees. This is not just a financial loss, it is a humiliation. A reminder that African lives are too often deemed unworthy by Western gatekeepers. Each rejection is a dream deferred, a family's savings lost, a future denied. But the betrayal runs deeper. For decades, African leaders have attended endless summits in Europe, Asia, and America, returning with little more than photo ops and empty promises. These trips, funded by taxpayer money, have become symbols of a beggar's mentality, a belief that Africa's salvation lies in foreign hands. Traoré rejects this outright. "We don't need to beg," he declares. "Africa has everything it needs: talent, resources, and vision. What we lack is leaders with the courage to act." His words are a stinging indictment of those who prioritize foreign approval over domestic progress, who sign exorbitant contracts with Chinese firms to build infrastructure while sidelining their own talent. The mistreatment of Africans abroad is a wound that cannot be ignored. In Gulf countries, African workers face grueling conditions, low wages, and abuse. In Europe, professionals endure systemic racism, their qualifications dismissed, their dignity trampled. A Nigerian nurse in the UK shared her story on X, describing how she was forced to work as a cleaner despite her credentials, simply because her African qualifications were not recognized. In Israel, African migrants face detention and deportation, their contributions ignored. These stories are not anomalies. They are the norm. They are the price of a system that sees African talent as disposable, African dreams as expendable. But what if Africa could turn inward? What if its leaders embraced the courage of Traoré and the conviction of Hichilema? Imagine a continent where borders are not barriers, but bridges, where the bright minds of Burkina Faso travel to Kenya or Tanzania to share their expertise, where South African doctors strengthen healthcare systems in Mali, and Nigerian tech entrepreneurs launch startups in Dar es Salaam. This is the vision of a united Africa, a continent where talent flows freely, where resources are shared, where opportunity knows no boundaries. The $70 million loss to visa fees could fund vocational training programs, startup incubators, or Pan-African universities that nurture the next generation of leaders. The £44 million drained by the UK could build schools, clinics, or roads, creating jobs for local talent. This is not a dream. It is a reality within reach. In Burkina Faso, Traoré is already making it happen. His initiatives have created thousands of jobs, empowered local firms, and proven that Africa can thrive without foreign handouts. If this model were scaled across the continent through regional cooperation, shared infrastructure, and harmonized policies, the impact would be transformative. A united Africa would dismantle the beggar's narrative. No longer would leaders need to chase crumbs of aid at foreign summits. A united continent would negotiate as an equal, leveraging its gold, diamonds, cobalt, and the ingenuity of its 1.4 billion people to demand respect. The visa fee scandal would become a relic of the past, replaced by a system where Africans move freely within their continent, building wealth and opportunity together. The textile factories of Burkina Faso could supply markets in Nigeria. The agricultural innovations of Kenya could feed communities in Ghana. The renewable energy projects of Morocco could power industries in Ethiopia. This is the Africa of tomorrow, a continent of creators, innovators, and builders. Across Africa, young people are watching. On platforms like X, they share videos of Burkina Faso's transformation, new factories, revitalized farmlands, bustling markets. They see in Traoré a leader who embodies their aspirations. He's building a nation where young people have jobs, hope, and pride. One Ghanaian user posted, "This is the Africa we want." In Nigeria, students have organized Traoré talks, discussing his policies and pushing their leaders to follow suit. In Kenya, young entrepreneurs have launched a campaign called Stay Home, Build Africa, inspired by his call to retain talent. This is a generation tired of empty promises, tired of leaders who jet off to summits while their people languish in poverty. They see in Traoré a leader who walks the talk, a president who has created thousands of jobs, reformed education, and invested in local talent. In Burkina Faso, new technical schools and universities are equipping young people with skills in engineering, technology, and entrepreneurship. Scholarships are being redirected to local institutions, ensuring that Africa's brightest minds stay home to build their continent. We have doctors who can save lives, scientists who can innovate, and entrepreneurs who can create wealth, Traoré declares. Why do we keep looking to the West when we have everything we need right here? The time for begging is over. The time for African leaders to wake up is now. From Hichilema's defiant stand to Traoré's unstoppable revolution, the message is clear. Africa will no longer be exploited. Its resources will benefit its people. Its talent will stay home. Its voice will command respect. This is an Africa that will not be silenced. An Africa that will not be stopped. An Africa ready to claim its destiny. Brothers and sisters, the future is ours to shape. Let us rally behind leaders like Hichilema and Traoré, who dare to challenge the status quo. Let us demand more from our governments, more jobs, more opportunities, more pride in who we are. Let us build a continent where every citizen, from Cape Town to Cairo, contributes to a shared destiny. A continent where borders are bridges, where talent is treasured, where dreams are realized. This is the Africa we must fight for. This is the Africa we will build as the sun rises over the Serengeti, as the Nile flows through ancient lands, as the markets of Lagos pulse with energy. Africa is awakening. Its people are rising. Its leaders are listening. The world had better take notice, because this is an Africa that will not bow, an Africa that will not break, an Africa that will rise as a global leader, shaping its own path to greatness. The revolution has begun, and together, we will make Africa the great continent it was always meant to be.